Hi, my name's Rachel. I'm the aquarium curator here at Liverpool Museum. Today I'm going to be telling you a bit about the fish that we have here, particularly my favourite fish. I'm going to be answering some of your questions. So if you come with me behind the scenes, I'll show you around. As aquarists, we are responsible for the upkeep of the aquarium gallery. In other words, we're responsible for the lives of all the animals that we look after. So not only the animals that you see in the gallery, but we have lots of animals behind the scenes as well. If you've seen our gallery, that you'll know we have some tropical animals based on areas of the Indo-West Pacific, such as Australia, Fiji, Indonesia, places like that. And the other half of the gallery is temperate or native marine British animals based on local areas such as Hilbert Island or Anglesey. The room that we're in now is one of our tropical fish rooms or tropical quarantine rooms. And this room is used for quarantining tropical animals before they go onto display. So we would keep animals here for about 3 to 4 weeks where we can closely monitor them and make sure they have no diseases that could be transferred to animals in the gallery. And then it's also used as a bit of a fish hospital, if you like. If an animal is not doing too well on display, it would come off display into here where we can isolate it from the main gallery and either treat it or just give it a little bit of TLC. Yeah, although we have quite a lot of different animals here, my main interest is in sharks and rays, cartilaginous fish, and I've carried out quite a lot of research into these animals. Research is really my specialty in the aquarium. I'm currently involved in a project called Ray Watch, which aims to assess the population of local rays in the Mersey, particularly thornback rays. We're actually tagging these animals along with local anglers to establish their movements, which will hopefully feed into some better management for these animals. So now I'm going to answer some of the questions that you've sent in about some of the animals we have here at the aquarium. And I believe the first one is about where we get the animals from and what happens when we breed animals, where might they go afterwards. Well, we're fairly committed to, as much as possible, only collecting animals from other aquariums or from captive bred populations, and so a large amount of our animals come from breeding programs within the UK for those animals. When we breed them here, they're either displayed here or they are sent on to other aquariums. So the next question was about pH and the pH that different fish can tolerate and what they could be found breeding in, which is quite interesting. It really depends on the fish and whereabouts in the world they're found. For marine fish, tends to be that they prefer a higher pH, around 8, and all of our fish here that we keep in the museum are marine fish, and their pH is around 8.1, 8.2. In terms of freshwater fish, they can prefer quite a different range depending on where they're from in the wild. In the Amazon, for example, they have quite an acidic pH of around 6, 6.5, whereas in places like Lake Tanganyika in Africa, it can be as high as 8, even though it's freshwater. In terms of the extremes they can tolerate, Amazon fish have been found in extremes like 3, as low as that in terms of pH, very acidic. But when it comes to breeding, it's most likely that they'll migrate out of those areas to somewhere more neutral to actually breed, but they can tolerate quite a huge range in the Amazon. So the last question referred to the sort of animals that I would like to keep in the aquarium if we could, that we don't currently have. So I think something that would be great to have here would be an octopus, or at least a member of the cephalopod family, so maybe squid or octopus. But I think octopus are particularly interesting because they're invertebrates, but they're incredibly intelligent. So I think it'd be quite interesting for people to witness how these animals can solve puzzles and break into feeding jars and that kind of thing to demonstrate their intelligence, and I think it'd be something that people would find quite fascinating to watch. My favourite animal here in the aquarium are the native rays. We have 3 different species. We have small-eyed rays, thornback rays and one ungulate ray. I think they're really beautiful animals and interesting in the way that they move, the way that they behave. But I think what's attracted to me the most is the fact that they're so vulnerable, arguably the most vulnerable of all exploited marine fishes. They're not really being given the chance to reach sexual maturity, particularly around the UK. They're very vulnerable to bottom trawlers, particularly as bycatch for more valuable fish like plaice and sole. So they do face a bit of an uphill struggle to reach sexual maturity and reproduce themselves, so they are very vulnerable. Okay, so thanks for your questions. And remember, you can come and see us at the aquarium anytime, and the rays, any of the other animals for that matter. It's free. It's open from 10 till 5, 7 days a week. Incidentally, as far as the rays are concerned, you do have the opportunity to support our project in the Mersey, in the local area, tagging thornback rays. If you go to our website and look up Ray Watch, then you have the opportunity to sponsor a ray, which you can name. And you get updates on that ray throughout the year, so it will tremendously help our project. So if you're interested in rays, please help our conservation effort. It'd be much appreciated. But, thanks very much.